San Diego State Aztecs are coming to Lawler Event Center this Saturday. Nevada coach Eric Musselman, when he did his post-game comments on Wednesday from the UNLV game, he was very distraught. He was distraught because he felt that the Wolfpack could have done a lot better job, even though they were missing their number one scorer in Caleb Martin. And Caleb Martin averaged 19 points a game, and the Wolfpack never could make up for the 19 points a game that they were missing. The Wolfpack only played 7 players on Wednesday, and they seemed just never to have enough energy to overcome UNLV and UNLV's big men. UNLV had 2 7-footers, and Brandon McCoy and DeYoung. Between the 2 7-footers, those 2 players alone have a total of 10 fouls, and they used up 9 of them. And the height of UNLV's big men, not just McCoy and Dong, but also Shakur Houston. Shakur Houston was the Junior College Player of the Year, and he's a real athletic big. He made a high percentage of his shots. He had 19 points and 12 rebounds, and Nevada didn't have an answer for him. UNLV seemed to come up with big plays. Javon Morin not only had 31 points, but he came up with some really big rebounds. He took some charges, and he played with a lot of energy and hustle. And that's one of the things that Coach Musselman pointed out, that Nevada has to do better if they're going to make a run in conference. And one of the things he pointed out, he's not so worried about the NCAA tournament. That's not even in the discussion right now. What he's talking about is the Mountain West Conference tournament. And I thought that was just a little over the top, since they just lost. It's only their second game that they've lost in conference. But then when you look at Nevada's remaining schedule, they play 4 tough games on the road. They're going to play that UNLV team again in Las Vegas, where UNLV's actually seems like they're a better road team this year than a team at the Thomas & Mack. Then they'll be playing San Diego State, who is a better team at home than on the road. In San Diego, they're going to be playing at Boise State. That's a tough game, and they're going to be playing at Utah State. So none of those 4 games are gimmies for the University of Nevada, especially if they're missing their number one scorer. So when Eric Musselman says that he's worried about not being in that play-in game, at first I thought, well, that's just a little over the top. But then when you look at what's coming down the road, he realizes that there are no gimmies in this conference, that anybody can beat anybody. And San Diego State, coming into Lawler Event Center Saturday, they've had their way with the Wolfpack. They own a 13-4 series lead. They've won 8 of the last 9 meetings between the 2 teams. San Diego State's 5-3 in Reno, and they've won 3 of the last 4 at the Lawler Event Center. So the Aztecs, they've done well in Reno, and so Musselman has a right to be concerned. Out of San Diego State's 9 losses this season, 5 have come in games in which San Diego State was tied or led at halftime. 4 have come by 4 points or fewer, and 4 have come when San Diego led with 5 minutes to play in the game. San Diego State's had some tough luck closing out games. The Aztecs have lost 5 games in which San Diego State had a lead in the final 5 minutes of the game, and is 1-5 in games decided by 4 points or less. They're just not good at finishing. They have a first-year coach, but that first-year coach has had a lot of experience with the program. He's he's been on the sideline for 399 of the program's 1,455 victories. So that's 27%. So even though he's a new coach, he's had a lot of experience, but the Aztecs are playing different this year. They're more focused on offense. They're the 76th rated offensive team in America, but they're the 79th rated defense. And so San Diego's always like in the top 20 in defense. They were always a team that used their length and athleticism to take you out of what you were doing. They forced their will on you. Steve Fisher understood that it's defense that wins championships. Coach Musselman, that's the one thing he emphasized, that for Nevada to be better, to win this conference, to just not be in that playing game, they have to play better defense. Nevada's a team that's not long. They're 6'7" in the post. They're going up against teams that, like UNLV, throwing out 2 7-footers. So Nevada has to do the little things. They have to box out. They have to be active on defense. They need to stay in front. They need to create turnovers and get out into transition and get some easy buckets. And so the recipe for this San Diego State game is just that. Nevada needs to play aggressive defense. They need to stay in front of their man. They need to box out. They need to get those boards. They need to minimize extra opportunities, and they need to continue to do a good job of not turning the ball over. If Nevada can do that, they should have a pretty good chance.